Hey guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in to my review of the Stedemon Knife Company D-01 knife produced by ZKC, Zon Knives. So the naming of this knife is going to be a little bit confusing depending on where you're looking at it. You'll find it called the ZKC D-01, the Stedemon Knife Company ZKC Flipper Knife, whatever. Anyway, it's kind of a long and awkward name, but there is nothing awkward about this design or weird about it, because this is a fantastic design. I was taken by it immediately when I saw it. I was hunting around on Blade HQ's website, as I do periodically, just looking for something new and interesting. This jumped out at me immediately, and I had to get it. And so this is like way out of my normal size range for EDC, but I'm super stoked about it still. And there's a lot of reasons why. We'll try to cover all that during the course of the review. We'll also show you plenty of testing, show you a bunch of other varieties of this exact knife. So talking about sort of some design features on here. We've got G10 handle scales, and this, by the way, is on ball bearing washers, pivots. Ball bearing pivot. It's fantastic. The speed is insane. So good. It's balanced so well. And look at that giant finger choil right there you can get up on top of for carving and digging into materials, which I did a fair bit of as I was testing this knife. Also, check out that giant flathead screwdriver pivot right there. Freaking love that. I don't know why we don't have more flathead screwdriver pivots. I mean, if I had to, I could take this knife apart with a penny or adjust it with a coin. Oh, that's great. Also, you can see that we have flathead screws down there as well, and a big old lanyard hole that's going to accommodate probably 3 or 4 strands of paracord if you want to make it just a big fat lanyard coming off of there. Easily do that. You can see this cool back strap right here is also G10, but that's done with a sort of a jade G10, and we're going to show you again a couple other versions of the knife. They've all got sort of interesting colors to them as well. The blade shape in general, look at it. Isn't that good looking? I love it. I love the grind on it. Love the swedges up here, the sort of multi-angled swedges, kind of a complex swedge arrangement there. That's so cool looking. And the flat right there creates all these facets in the blade itself that are just really nice to look at. So in hand, just sort of the pleasure of holding this in hand, being able to flip it, fondle it, etc. It's almost worth purchasing for that alone. The Stedemon design, this Stedemon design, I should say, is beautiful. I really like it. I don't think you can swap that pocket clip. It looks like it's there and only there because we're not drilled out on this side. But if you look at the G10, look at the contours on that, oh man, it's just good design and looks like great construction as well. And again, I saw several of them, couldn't find one that was bad. They all seem to be really good as far as quality control is concerned. And that's a great thing as well. One quick note I will mention, though. It looks like they tried to give me a little bit of a flat in the G10. This seems like the wrong spot for it, though. It should be right back here, right where the pocket clip goes under. And it might be under there as well. I'm not quite sure. I can't say I've had problems putting it in and out of pocket, though. It works really well. Let's go ahead and weigh it and also measure it. We'll measure it first. What does this knife measure in at? It looks like 9+ inches tip to stern, top to bottom, whatever you want to call it. 4 or so inches on the blade itself. And yeah, let's get to the weight. The weight, I think you're going to be surprised by. You're going to be pleasantly surprised by this big old knife and finding out what it actually weighs. You ready? I'm going to say 18 ounces. Oh, only 5.1. I was way off. 5.1 ounces, guys. You know what else weighs 5.1 ounces? Around about 5 ounces? This. It's a great knife, don't get me wrong, but that's a lot of weight in a small package. That's the same weight in a much bigger package. Check it. Ugh, which one would you rather have? I don't know. I mean, they're both great knives. I both reviewed both of them positively, if I can get my words out. But this thing, it's great and balanced so well. I don't know if I mentioned that already. Feels like a great balance point. Balance point's right around there, right where it ought to be. Right where it ought to be. So it feels great in hand. Let's go ahead and compare this. Not compare it, but just kind of show you some of the other varieties of the Stedman D-01. Here's the black smoke wash version, and the backspacer on that is an orange G10. Check that out. I might give you a closer look at it. Might as well. Black smoke wash, and there's the blade. Nice looking. Nice looking. I like how that's reflecting the light in camera. It's being a lot more cooperative than the bright steel is. So there's that one. There's black. What else? We brought you the jade, man. I brought you the jade. There it is with that beaming blue backspacer and the nice translucent jade. This is one of the ones that I was on the fence about. Between this one and the blue, I think, were probably the two I was about to buy. And lastly, orange and black. And there's sort of the collection. That isn't even the full array. There's a lot more of them. And in addition to that, there's some other ones that are made of different materials. I think there's titanium and or stainless steel handle material, higher end steels on them. The blade, I never did talk about the blade steel, 440C, which, you know what? Say what you will. It works. 440C works. And I don't really have a problem with it. I think it's actually quite a decent steel. It's up there with your 154s and your VG10s as far as just general quality, not necessarily composition, but general quality. I do have to mention, though, that out of box, not impressed with the edge. Wasn't impressed with that edge at all. Now I am. Now I'm super impressed with it because I did it myself. I redid that edge, put it on the Work Sharp knife and tool sharpener, and spent some time with it, reprofiling that edge, making it a gleaming, bright and shiny semi-convex edge, which cuts really, really well now. And as you saw in some of that testing footage, cutting cardboard, paper, digging into that, not plywood, but that 2x6 chunk of wood, it did a fantastic job. And so this knife is going to perform very well for you once you get a decent edge on it. And you know, you may not be as picky as me about edges, particularly. I for one, if it's not razor sharp, I'm going to fix it until it's razor sharp. That's broken to me, right? They say don't fix it if it ain't broke or something like that. If it ain't razor sharp, that's broke. I got to fix it. But I did fix it, and now it's fantastic. Stedman D-01 is an awesome design. I love it. I mean, you saw all those colors there. There's a lot. You could collect the entire line. I mean, this would be a fairly inexpensive collector. And how much does this guy cost? It's in the $70 range last I checked. And that was on Blade HQ, Blade HQ's website. $68.95 is what they've got it at. Really good. Again, I'll have the link down in the description to buy. Please do use the link if you're going to go buy it, because that actually helps support my channel and helps to pay for new knives like this one that I bought. But anyway, the price is fantastic, especially considering all the knife you're getting. They're kicking it, man. Zon Knives company. I think these guys are out of China, but it's what can you say, man? When great stuff is produced, when the quality control is clearly high up there, and the design is just fantastic, what else can you say except it's a good product for a good price? And I'm always attracted to that. All right, guys, thanks very much for sticking around for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm the Late Boy Scout. We'll see you later. Basically, go to my Gecko review, this guy right here, the full-size Gecko folder review, the 1505 review. Go to that, listen to everything I said there, and then just bring that down by a couple inches.